Hi, Jen. Looking at this chair that you've chosen, I would say that this is actually, it's all in bird's eye perspective because this is the horizon line here. You can see that the back of the chair in the original is pretty much horizontal. So I always start with the closest vertical corner here. And this, this being an eye level perspective or the base of the chair, the seat of the chair and the arms of the chair being bird's eye, and then our eyes or the camera lens being on a par with the back of the chair is quite common because if you're standing back and looking at a chair, you'll be looking down on the lowest parts of it, but you could well be on an eye level because of the distance with the back of the chair. So I always start with this corner vertical, and then, especially because we're working with a reference here, so I look at the legs and I see what's happening on the ground. So I look at this one and I say, okay, that's where my line to the vanishing point's going, somewhere up there. Not perfectly accurate, but reasonably. And then this line has to go through the base. So maybe that's where you went wrong here because you took it through the corner of the chair here instead of from the foot, 1 foot through the next foot and then heading out this way. So you can see that it's not, this vanishing point over on this side is going to be way off the page. It's going to be a long time off this side before this line meets the horizon line. So we're never going to find that vanishing point, and that's okay. We'll just have to wing it. This is only very slightly at an angle, so we can get away with it quite easily. So what I do is I'll join like that. So now I've got this side of the chair working pretty well. I can bring that vertical down. This is going to be pretty close to being vertical. And I tend to wing it on the other side. I literally eyeball things like this. Verticals are always vertical, so that's easy enough. And this is fairly close. I mean, it's such a slight offset that this is pretty close to being parallel to this line. So you can get away with that. And then it becomes a matter of saying, okay, well, we can see that this is going to be wider at the front, the seat cushion, than it is at the back. And that makes sense because in perspective, what's closer appears to be larger than what's further away. And you can figure out where this corner is just by bringing the vertical down, and then you've got the seat kind of defining itself. If you want to get this arm looking better, you can do it like this. That obviously would be horizontal, and then bring that down there. And you can eyeball it in that way. So that's my approach. Always start with the closest vertical corner, work out the lines towards the vanishing points. One of them will be quite acute, like this one. One of them will be almost non-existent, very, very gentle kind of incline going off to a vanishing point way off the page. And then I just wing it from my reference. Or if I'm trying to draw it without a reference, I just bear in mind that the closer vanishing point, things are going to converge towards the other vanishing point. It's going to be a fairly mild incline.